Welcome to Bow and Arrow Tarot. Let's get right into it. Which side will we be reading for today? Gemini. The sign of the twin is the third sign of the zodiac. Thank you for joining me. What's going on with my Gemini? Straight out. Five of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Nine of Wands, Knight of Wands. A lot of fire. Coming right in with a lot of fire. And the person in your life, Temperance energy, Six of Swords. Hierophant, King of Wands. Wow. Bottom of this deck, Nine of Swords. A lot of anguish and regret. A lot of pain. Sleepless nights. Right now you have Five of Pentacles. Temperance energy is how your person is coming in. Some of you may be dealing with your opposite sign, which is a Sagittarius. Temperance energy is all about Sagittarius. It is the tarot card for Sagittarius. So Gemini, if you're resonating with this reading, you're having some financial issues right now. You're having some physical difficulties, some physical hurdles you're having to get over. You may have recently been sort of, I don't want to say ousted, but you may have recently had an event in your life that has caused you to sort of have to leave your pack, have to leave your safety net, right? Leave what you are used to, maybe even leave your family or friends to move, something like that, right? And also that move, that change, that event has left you quite sort of not destitute as it looks in the card, but definitely going through some financial issues. Temperance energy coming in for your person. Your person may be, like I said, a Sagittarius, but they may also just be resonating with that temperance energy, which is right now they're being very cautious about their feelings. They're being very reserved about their feelings. They're tempering, the very meaning of tempering, sort of like balancing their emotions, the balancing that connection between the head and the heart and remaining focused in that way, not allowing their head to sort of rule them and not allowing their heart to rule them. It's a real balancing act that this person is exhibiting right now, right? And so they may not be forthcoming right now towards you as they look ahead. Six of Swords energy, Three of Wands. There's a split here, Gemini. So some of you, this reading is definitely for Gemini who's recently having a split with this person. Things are a little bit difficult. You're looking ahead for more information. You're kind of looking for more to come in, more information to come into you, maybe even a sign. Right now, if in this particular connection, Gemini, it feels to me like you're very much looking for the right sign to come in that will give you the confidence or that will sort of say, hey, prove to you like, hey, you're on the path. Right now, you're really not sure about this person. You're not sure about this relationship. And so if you're coming to this reading, if you've already been drawn to this reading, hopefully, tarot cards are not about giving you the answer, but perhaps we can look at your situation in such a way that will help you come to a decision of some kind. But for right now, your person is coming in at Six of Swords. They're looking away, okay, as far as this connection is concerned. They're kind of looking not to turn their back on you, but there may have been a lot of arguing. There may have been a lot of strife going on between the two of you, and specifically about sort of, I want to say, issues to do with your family, your culture. You guys may have been fighting a lot over sort of what is expected. One of you or both of you may be coming from a cultural background or a religious background that really informs you. And that really is sort of like the basis of how you live your life and also the type of relationships you have. And it seems to me, and feels strongly here to me, you guys have not necessarily been on the same page of what you're expecting from each other. An example would be Gemini. You may be dealing with someone who feels very strongly about getting married before making any more plans. Orthodox example would be somebody who doesn't believe in living together or having sex or being, that close until you are married or until you're given the blessings of the family or the community come from. And so one or either of you, that could be an example of your background or the way what you're bringing to this. And the other one is disagreeing with that, that's coming in conflict with the other one. So it feels to me that right now over this next period, Gemini, there is a break. There is a period of a break between the two of you. Some of you may be going through a temporary, let's stay away from each other, separation, trial separation. Definitely the person you're dealing with. And again, these readings can always be vice versa. So the top cards are mostly the energies you're bringing. But of course, this can be vice versa in the bottom cards for your person. But, it feels to me that there's been a lot of arguing, and your person that you're dealing with right now really wants to get away from a lot of that arguing. You are also feeling with that Nine of Wands, the Hierophant coming in. This is what is making me feel like this is very much a difference in tradition. This is a difference in the way you both look at the world, the way you both look at each other, and the way you both look at a relationship. And for you, Nine of Wands feels very much like it could be to a degree that you've been feeling very penned in. You've been feeling sort of maybe trapped in this connection. You know what I mean? Kind of trapped in this framework, in this connection with this person or this relationship. And you're feeling like you're not free. You're not entirely free. And yet there is love there. You have a lot of Wands energy here. Let's pull some more cards as clarifiers. You have a lot of Wands energy here, Gemini. You have 4 of the 8 cards of Wands. Okay, so that's a lot of fire. And Temperance is the card for Sagittarius, more fire. You're coming in with the Knight of Wands here. Your person has a King of Wands. And these cards are mostly speaking to me about what could be your possible future with this connection. But before I talk about that, let's get some clarification. There has been some sleepless nights again, like you see with this card here, the Nine of Swords. There's definitely been some anxiety here. There's been some fear here, worry. There's definitely been love here. Of course, this is a connection of love. But right now, it almost feels as though you both are moving apart or growing apart from each other a little bit. And a lot of it has to do with who you are, how you were raised, what you're used to. Let's see what's going on here. Let's get some clarity on all of it, basically. Let's get some clarity on the Temperance here. 7 of Cups. Okay, so there's Temperance here because your person is definitely feeling a little bit like the dream is... They're feeling disenchanted, okay? They're being really careful. It could be that they are starting to, this may have been a whirlwind romance. You guys may have fantasized a lot about what you could do in the future, but it seems to me that the energy from your person right now is they're not really trusting that right now, okay, Gemini? They're really not trusting that sort of pie in the sky outlook of, you and me can conquer the world. They're starting to come down to earth a little bit, and they're starting to sort of like be much more pragmatic and practical. It may feel like this has started off as a whirlwind whirlwind romance that developed into a relationship, but it's definitely hitting ground now. What is going on here with your 5 of Pentacles? 5 of Swords, definitely a lot of fighting and strife. It could be that you moved out. Your person may have moved out. You may have been living with each other, folks. Gemini, okay? You may have been living with this person, and because of some of the recent fighting and arguing, you're now not living with them. Let's move this over a little bit. You're now not living with them. You're not together. You guys aren't sharing bills, and this is causing you some financial hardship. Not only is the strife and the arguing right now affecting you emotionally, but there's definitely an effect on the ground to your finances and your living condition. There may have been other people interfering in this relationship, causing some disagreement. Let's get some more clarity on the state of affairs here. Ace of Swords. Okay, so some of you, and Ace of Wands fell out as well. Something new, a new idea has come into this relationship for you guys. It could be that a new job, a new idea, with that Ace of Swords, definitely a new way of looking at things for you guys. A new outlook of some sort has been shown to one or both of you. It could be that both of you started new jobs. Both of you have maybe started a new stage in your life. And this has been sort of the cause of a lot of this arguing and fighting, because for a little while you guys were stuck in your bubble together. You may have been very much on the same page, and as much as how you're living, what you're doing, etc. But now with this big change, a change that definitely was like a social change. So like a new job that brings in money, but also whenever you start a new job, you have new friends, you have a new outlook, you begin to see things differently, you get turned on to different things, you meet new people. And so that is a new mentality that you're taking on. This has been very much the source of the separation. The source of suddenly you two not seeing eye to eye. And over this next few weeks, this is what you're going to be dealing with in terms of really hashing it out. Ace of Wands is coming in too. There's also a new passion coming in for some of you. Now let me go into these last cards, the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. The possibility here, okay, Gemini, is that you continue to have this sort of new stage of your life blossom very strongly in a very fiery way, in a very creative way. Okay. And I think that above anything, you're going to be, if you're resonating with this reading, for a lot of you, you're going to be feeling like you're wanting to hold on to that creativity and that fire. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that this relationship is doomed or isn't doomed or what have you, but it just means that if you're drawn to this reading, you're resonating with this reading, and we're trying to look at some other aspects here of this situation that may help you to understand it a little bit deeper and understand your own feelings a little bit deeper, and may help you come to a decision on how to move forward. Now, at the crux of this reading is a lot of creativity and inspiration and passion. You can never go wrong when you maintain your passion. You can never go wrong when you follow your heart and your gut. And the Knight of Wands is very strong in that way, is very forceful, forward moving in that way. He follows very much his heart and his passion. And he insists on sort of overcoming any obstacles that block him in that regard. If this person is your heart and your passion, and as well as this new change in your life, this new job, what have you, that's come in, is also your heart and passion, there is a solution there for you to find that will allow space for both of you. Okay. And that will be up to the individual person coming to this reading. Okay. Knight of Wands is there too for your person as a possible sort of opportunity or outcome over this next few weeks. And your person definitely is going to be stepping up or really leaning into their own sense of confidence, their own sense of, they're not domineering, but you're definitely dealing with somebody who will not be pushed around, who knows what they want. Who knows what they want out of life, who knows what they want out of this relationship. And they're going to be very much relying on that sort of sense of strength, that sense of knowing, that sense of, I would say, maybe even very much taking that leadership role, right? King of Wands is very much a leader. He does things his own way. And it can also be very much here with this Hierophant. Again, like I said, Gemini, some of you are dealing, some of these issues are to do with the way you were both raised and these new opportunities coming in, being sort of a real catalyst for change. The King of Wands is very unique, very creative, and very individual. He will not sort of be penned in. And it could be that the source of a lot of this arguing and strife, these sort of very, I would say, these ties that either of you have with your culture, with your family, with your religion, it isn't so much that your person is going to be ignoring that, but they're going to also, there may be an opportunity for them with that King of Wands energy to decide that they're going to do things a little bit differently. Okay? So in this regard, for this connection, if you're coming, Gemini, my lovely Geminis, if you're coming to this reading and this sort of set of circumstances is resonating with you, there's a feeling here that both of you leaning into your sense of confidence and creativity and your belief and confidence in yourself, knowing that you know what is best for you, not necessarily turning your back on where you come from or your culture, religion, family, etc., and what they expect of you, but very much understanding that you are in control of your own life, your own ship, and what you do. And the most important thing in this connection is maintaining that sense of autonomy, uniqueness, and finding a solution to this fracture in this relationship, the troubles that have come into this relationship through creativity and communication. Okay, folks, through understanding each other and working towards what you're both passionate about. And there can be room for, there can absolutely be room for love for each other, for disconnection, for something new, and still respecting and maintaining the connection to where you come from. Good energy. Let me pull a couple of Spirits of Darkness and Light cards just to see what kind of energy, what kind of additional energies or around factors may be playing into this. Again, my tarot readings are about looking into a particular situation. There's so many million infinite situations, environments, circumstances, unique possibilities that we all face, that there's no such thing as any tarot reading being able to tell you what to do or what can happen or what the outcome is. This is simply a mirror and a mirror into a particular situation, and a way to look at different aspects of it that if you can relate to them, may be able to help you see things a little bit differently and make the best decision for yourself. All right. 4 cards just fell out, and I'm going to keep those. We have Spirit of the Lion, leader, recognition, respect. Again, fire energy, lion being fire energy. Spirit of Waters, cleansing, healing, emotion. Okay. So cleansing and healing is coming in. Spirit of the Waters, cleansing and healing, listening to emotions. Spirit of the Skull. So here we have melancholy, depression. This may be as a result of the separation that has been going on, or the change in this connection that has been happening. But that was probably necessary to happen for that cleansing to come in. And then we also have Spirit of the Lion and Spirit of the Book. So the book, again, exactly what I was talking about, new chapter, development, unfinished business, and then the Spirit of the Lion in terms of leadership and recognition, respect. That reminds me of that King of Wands over here coming in. Yes, it is time for a new chapter. It is time for new developments, right? It's time to sort of face this aspect of a relationship that was probably there for quite some time already. All right, guys, so nice reading, Gemini. Nice reading, because you know what? Any good relationship has ups and downs. Any good relationship that withstands the test of time will go through periods of bending and moving and changing and growing and outgrowing, and then, fitting back in. So this is definitely a reading for a Gemini going through some change with their person, and change that has huge potential to take you both to the next level, to a stronger level. 9 of Swords is still there at the bottom of the deck. Sleepless nights will still, the worry, the anxiety is still there. You can't really always avoid that. However, don't take that, that's always there. We always have anxiety when we're going through a lot of changes. That's it. Thank you so much, Gemini or Gemini watchers, okay, for coming to this reading. This is love for Gemini. Thank you so much. This is Bow and Arrow Tarot. I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye-bye now.